All right, so the 22nd, it says, which of the following is correct regarding the flow chart? It repeats more than 3 times. It stops when 3 is entered for num. It displays the total when the counter is 3. It gets 4 numbers from a user. Yeah, to recognize that, we have to go through the flow chart and see, right? So it says it is starting, right? And then set counter to 0 and set total to 0. So there will be 2 variables, which is the counter and the total. Right, so it says set counter to 0 and total to 0. And it says get number num from the user. So number is taken into a particular variable called num, right? And we don't know like which kind of number that they are going to give. Like, so let's assume and take, I'm going to give 10, right? So it says add num to the total, add 1 to counter. So that means 0 will be added with 10. So total will be total will be 10, and add 1 to the counter. So counter will be 1. So the condition is asking, is counter less than 3? Yes, count is less than 3. So then it goes up and checks the goes up and asks for another number, right? So there I'm going to give 20. I'm eliminating 10. So again, I'm adding number to the total and I'm adding number to the counter. So 10 plus 20 is 30. And adding 1 to the counter will become 2. Then still asking the same question, is counter less than 3? Yes. So it goes and asks for another number. I'm going to give 30. And it will be added to the total. So the total is going to become 60. And counter will become 3. And the question asks, is counter less than 3? Now the counter value is 3. 3 is not less than 3. So the condition falls. It is asking to display the total. So this is the one which is going to be displayed. Right, so let's get back to the answers again. It repeats more than 3 times. It repeats more than 3 times. In the first repetition, they take the first number. The second repetition, it takes the second number. In third repetition, it takes the third number. So that means the repetition happens only 3 times, like not more than 3 times. Right, so because of that, this is wrong. It stopped when 3 is entered for num. It stopped when 3 is entered for num, not 3 is entered for num, which is wrong. It displays the total when the counter is 3. Yeah, now that's true, right? When the counter value is 3, it displays the total. That's what happens. So the third one can be taken as the answer. It gets 4 numbers from the user. No, it only gets 3 numbers from the user, which have been assigned to the variable called num. Right, so the correct answer is going to be the third one. Right, so after 22nd, 23rd, which of the following can be used to replace add num to total in the flow chart? So add num to total can be replaced what? Total equals total plus num. That's how it says. So this total indicates the current value of the total. It will be added with the number value and then again assign it to the variable total. So the third one is going to be the answer. 24th, which of the following statement is correct? regarding control structures used in algorithms. Excuse me. Statement or statements within if then construct is executed when the condition is false, not when the condition is false, when it is true. So because of that, this is wrong. For next loop can be used when the number of repetition is known in advance. For next loop can be used when the number of repetition is known in advance. Yes, somewhat correct. Right? So generally we can take it as a correct one. So let's go to the third one and see. If then construct cannot be used within a for next loop. No, you can't say cannot be used. You can use any kind of structure inside any kind of another structure. That means like you can use for next loop inside the if, or you can use it in the vice versa manner, like inside the for next loop, if can be used, right? So inside the if, for next loop can be used. Likewise, you can use any iteration inside a selection or any selection inside an iteration, as well as you can use a one particular selection inside another particular selection. That means like if else inside another if else is possible, as well as you can use an iteration inside another iteration, right? So we can use a while loop inside another while loop or inside a for loop. That doesn't matter. So this is concretely wrong. If then construct cannot be nested. No, it can be nested. We can't say cannot be nested. That's why I told you, like in the previous point, can be used inside one another, right? So yes, second one is taken as the correct answer. 25th. Consider the following statement regarding operators in a programming language. An operator performs an operation on one or more variables. An operator performs an operation on one or more variables. One or more variables. Is it a tricky one? An operator performs an operation on one or more variables. Yes, generally we can say it is correct, one or more variables. An expression may not have more than one operator. May not have more than one operator. No, it may have more than one operator. So may not. Hold on, did I read it? An expression may have more than one operator. Yes. It's not, there is no any not. I was just thinking it in my mind. An expression may have more than one operator. Yes, definitely. An expression can have more than one operator. So if you say x plus y minus z kind of thing, so there are like more operators inside of one particular expression. Comparison operator, compare two expressions. Comparison operator, compare two expressions. Yeah, generally when it comes to the comparison operator, it is the left hand side is compared to the right hand side, right? So like two expressions or two variables, we can take it as a generally correct one. Right, so it seems to be all are correct. Is that the answer? Let me check. Oh, I didn't have the marking scheme with me either. Hold on a second. Yeah, just give me a minute, people, whether I'm search whether 2011 marking scheme is there in the eThuxer website. No, they don't. So for 2011, the answer they have given is for the 25th. Yep, everything is correct. Yeah, so the fourth one can be taken as a correct one. Right, so all are correct. Okay, people, is it clear up to this point? Everyone, please confirm. Okay, great. So then 26th. Consider the following type of computer programming languages: machine language, assembly language, high-level language. Which of the following shows the order of generations of the above programming languages in ascending order? Now, actually, in the order of the programming languages are not in your syllabus, as I remember, right? But this is what has happened in the very first era. The computer programmers have to feed the program in the form of ones and zeros. That's why they use punch card system. So it directly indicates what is 1 and what is 0, right? Which we call the machine language. So this is considered as the very first language, or the very first era of the programming language. Then they found small English words into the source code, right? Which we call the assembly language, right? So this is the second generation of the language. And then they found these high-level languages, or the or like more human-friendly languages, or like human-known languages, or that means like programming languages were made out of more human-readable languages. Those are called high-level languages. So like machine language, assembly language, then all other things are going to be the high-level languages. Machine and assembly are the languages which we are not considering as a high-level languages. Thus, we know them as low-level languages, right? So high-level languages came at last. So Pascal is also a high-level language. So the correct order is A, B, and C, right? In ascending order, no, they are asking. So it is first one, A, B, and C. Right, it's a little bit out of your syllabus, but it's good you get to know it. 27th. Which of the following statement is correct regarding a compiler and an interpreter, right? So before I move into the question, like what are the compilers and interpreters? Those are called language translators. So compiler, it converts the entire source code or the program into the machine code at once. Interpreter, it converts line by line the source codes line by line into the machine code. All right. So the first one says an interpreter translates all statement into machine language instruction before program execution. No, that's the task of a compiler. So it is wrong. A compiler translates each statement into a machine language instruction one at a time during the program execution. That is the task of an interpreter. A compiler needs an interpreter for program execution. No, not really. Compiler is a different language translator and interpreter is a different language translator. So that brings us the fourth one is the correct answer. The interpreter translates each statement into machine language instructions one at a time during the program execution. Yes. So that's a concretely correct answer. So the fourth one is going to be the answer for the 27th. Then the 28th. There's a blank pace of system development lifecycle is concerned with system functionality, meeting users' requirement, effective use of resources, and the cost effectiveness. Yeah. Yeah, now this is going to be an out of syllabus one because this feasibility study and all these things are not there. But without that, you can answer this question. Now, this is a part of the system analysis, right? Hold on a second, hold on a second. Functionality, meeting the user requirements, effective use of resources, and the cost effectiveness. Yeah, that's more into the feasibility study, people. Yeah, Saran, yes, yes. Hold on a second. Yeah, Saran, just give me a second. I'll give you the marking scheme, right? Because I lost the scan that I have done last week. So let me scan it quickly and show it to you. Right. Saran, there you go. Right, great. So moving to the next question. Yeah, in the 28th, they are like it is much into the feasibility study, people. So take it as an out of syllabus, right? Because feasibility study is not in your syllabus. 28th. Yeah. So feasibility study is not there in your syllabus. So take it as an out of syllabus one. So after 28th, it's the 30th. Consider the following statement regarding system development activities. Making changes to hardware and software, okay, correcting detected errors in the system after deployment, okay, introducing new user requirement into the system. Which of the above activities are involved in the maintenance phase of system development lifecycle? Now, making the changes to the hardware and software, they haven't told you whether it is a major changement or a minor changement, right? So because of that, we can generally think about it's something which we can do in the maintenance phase, right? So let's generally take it as a correct one. Correcting detected errors in the system after deployment, yes, that can be done. Introducing new user requirement, if it is a new user requirement, then it's going to be a full cycle that is going to create a one, right? So introducing new user requirement, that's not going to happen. So it is incorrect. So the answer is going to be A and B only. Right? How about the answer? 30, oh, hold on. 30th. They are saying it's the fourth one. Oh, what was that? Introducing new user requirement into the system. That's a doubtful one. Introducing new user requirements to the system. No, people. For the 30th, it should be the first one. Because new user requirement means you have to go through the system development lifecycle from the beginning. All right. In the maintenance part, phase, minor changes can be done. Right. So if it is completely a new user requirement, it's going to go through another phase or like another SDLC top to bottom thing, right? So it will be analyzed, it will be designed, it will be deployed, it will be tested, and those things is going to happen. So for the 30th, it's going to be the first one, people, not the fourth one, right? Yeah, it's a justifiable part to say one and A and B only, right? Okay. So then the 31st, a student need to send a digital copy of a printed photograph to a friend living abroad. Consider the following procedures: taking a copy using a digital camera, saving it as an image file, then sending via email. So what is the question? Which of the above procedure is suitable for sending the photograph? Yeah, the first one, it's a suitable way of doing that. Sending the photo using normal post. Now, they say student needs to send a digital copy. A digital copy means a soft copy, right? So send in the photo using normal post. It's going to give you a hard copy, not a soft copy, right? So for that reason, it is wrong. Scanning the photograph, saving it as an image file, then send it via email. Yeah, that is possible. So it is A and C only. Right? So digital copy means, always remember they are talking about these soft copies. Okay, 35th. Consider the following statement regarding multimedia editing. So this is the 35th, people. Layer can be used to draw and edit objects in one layer without affecting another layer. Of course, that is why layers are. Keyframes can be used to create or edit animations. Keyframes, yes. Yes, we can. Speed of a graphic animation can be changed using frame rate. Of course, yes. Right? So everything is going to be correct. Right? So 36th. Consider the following special effects. Add an echo, change in speed, change in volume. Which of the above special effects can be used in editing sound file? Adding echo, yes. We can add a echo, right? Echo එක කියන්නේ නේද? දෝංකාරය දෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ. We can change in the speed, yes, we can again using Audacity. Change in volume, yes, again we can do, no problem. The fourth one. 37th. Consider the following statement regarding HTML tags. HR defines a horizontal rule. Yes, it is. Li creates an ordered list. No, it is not. Ordered list is created by OL. P creates a page break. No, people. It creates a paragraph. Page breaks are there to like BR is there to do the page breaks. Right? So it's A only, which is the correct one. And yeah, after 37, it's 39 that you have requested. And people, if you want anything in between, or if you want to repeat something that I have done, please let me know, right? So I can do it. So the 39th, consider the following three statements. Blank is a unique name that identifies a website. Then blank is a unique address of a file that is accessible on the internet. And again, is a unique number that identifies a machine on the internet. Yeah. So domain name is a unique name that identifies a website, right? And B is a unique address of a file that is accessible on the internet. It's a unique address. It's a unique address. Yeah, it's going to be uniform resource locator, URL, right? Then the last one, IP address, is a unique number that identifies machine in the internet. So the third one is going to be the answer. Right, so for the 39th, it's the third one. Okay, so people, if you got any amendments, so let me know. Anyway, let me know the final answer, like the final number you got as a mark. I remember last week also you were telling me, but I would need to see. Yes, people, how's the situation? for 30th, Seran, yeah, since they have given the fourth one as the answer in this marking scheme, take the fourth. But even for the people who got the first one as your answer, take that as well. Okay, Binadi, that's a good mark. How about others? Okay, Tamadi. Oh, Seran, that's a very good mark. Miss Hunter, that's a very good mark. Onetra, that's very good mark. Tamadi, there is a little more to go, right? So grab that one door. So see what is not there. And people, did you got any timetables regarding the term tests? Are they starting on the Januaries? All right. I think you have got enough practice now, right? Since we are discussing the O-level paper. So face it with confidence, people, right? Don't worry. Right? Okay, Sarah. Right, okay. You will be fine. You will be doing fine, Sarah. Don't worry. Right. So here I am moving to the next part, the second part. So let me take the marking scheme as well. Yeah, it's here. Right. So the first one says classify computers into two types according to their purpose. So like what? General purpose computers, special purpose computers, right? Those are the two types. So if you write those, the names, 2 marks are given. General purpose computers, special purpose computers, right? So general purpose computers are what? The computers that we are using, right? The special purpose computers are computers which are built for some specific task, right? So like if you visit to a hospital, if you are going to a particular scan, it is maintained by a computer system again, but that computer system or that computer is made for that task only, right? So it is a special purpose computer, right? So 2 marks are given. Next question, GCE O-level. Yeah, it's a second lesson, Seran. As I remember, it's a second lesson where we learn about the supercomputers, microcomputers, mini computers, and all these things. Right? There was another way. Let me check whether was it excluded from your syllabus. Yeah. Hold on. Let me guess. Let me check. It's the grade 10. Yeah. Yes, Seran, it is not in your syllabus, Seran. They are just focusing on the physical size and the technology, right? So you can have marks for that, people. You people are just having the what? The super, mainframe, mini, and micro, that is regarding the physical size. and the analog, digital, and the hybrid, that is regarding the technology. Right? Earlier, they had this general purpose and special purpose, but it won't it won't harm you if you know about this, but still you can have the marks for that. So first one, people take marks, 2 marks if you even if you are not answering that. Second part says GCE ordinary level candidates can obtain the examination results from the website of the Department of Examination. When the index number is entered to the data entry form of the website, the system validates it. If it is valid, then the result will be retrieved from the database and displayed on the screen. Right? The input, process, and output of this scenario. Yeah, easy stuff, right? So input, what are going to be the inputs? Index number is going to be the input, right? Then process, there are different processes, people. Validating the index number is one of the process, right? Retrieve the result from the database is one of the process, or obtaining the results from the database is another process. And output is going to be the result on the screen, right? So whatever it is displaying on the screen, right? So let's say, let's see how they have gone with this. Yeah, input is the index number, process is check the validity and obtain the information from the database. Output is the result. Yeah, if you got it all correct, you can have 2 marks. You don't need to have the exact same explanation, but index number should be mentioned as an input. So then the process and the output. Okay, so moving to the third part. Copy table A and table B given below into your answer script and draw arrows between matching items of table A and table B. Email address, here we go. This is the email address. URL, this is a URL. IP address, this is an IP address. Search engine, Google. Web browser, Internet Explorer. Right? So if everything is correct, 2 marks. Anyone is wrong, reduce 0.5. Right? So each and every part is going to take 2 marks, people. And the fourth one, yes, that's right, Sarah. It's the older version of the Edge. Right? Actually, Edge is not the new version of Internet Explorer. It's a new application, Sarah. It's a new browser. Internet Explorer was stopped when the Edge is being introduced. Right? Okay, in the fourth one, write the Boolean expression to represent the following logic circuit. Simplify your answer. Yeah, now you can't simplify. You don't need to simplify. So write the Boolean expression to represent the following logic circuit. That, of course, you can do. So this is going to be x dot y, and as well as this x dot y, here x dot y bar, and as the z you can say x dot y plus x dot y bar. Right? So that's going to be the output. If you got this, you can take 2 marks. Okay, People, is that clear up to this point? Right, great. Okay, moving forward. The fifth one, character encoding scheme are used to represent symbols within computer. The number of, Seran, it's okay to have brackets. If you put brackets, no worries over here. Even if you don't have the brackets, still it won't do any harm. According to this, right? It's better you have the brackets anyway. Right, so character encoding schemes are used to represent symbols within the computers. The number of symbols represented in a computer depends on the number of bits used for the encoding scheme. How many different symbols could be represented using 8 bits? Show your computations. Yeah, now this is easy, right? So like, if you can remember, we had 4 bits for the BCD. So BCD was capable of showing 15 characters. How we are going to do it? How we are going to calculate it? It's the number of characters taken as 2 to the power. Right, so that is how we are going to calculate number of different combinations that you can have. So if it is 8 bits that you are having, so your answer is going to be 2 to the power 8. Which means 256, right? So it's better you keep it as a number, 256. Then the sixth one, yeah, Saran, it's like this. It's like this, Saran. Now, if you got just 1 bit with you, you can represent either 1 or 0 from this 1 bit. That means if you got 1 bit, you got 2 to the power 1 number of characters. Right? So 1 වලින් කවුරු represent කරන්න පුළුවන්, 0 වලින් තව කවුරු represent කරන්න පුළුවන්. So only 1 bit. If you got 2 bits, you can represent 4 values. 0, 0 will represent something, 0, 1 will represent another thing, 1, 0 is represent another, and 1, 1 is represent last. So that means the number of combinations are 2 to the power 2. Right? It's about how many places, or like how many bits are there in the address. Right? If you got 3 particular bits, you can represent 8 numbers, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Right? So likewise. So it's 2 to the power 3. Right? So with 8, it is going to be 2 to the power 8. That means 256. Okay, the sixth one, it says convert hexadecimal number C9 into binary, show your computation. Yeah, something very easy. So C9 in hexadecimal, we write these things. They are asking convert it into a binary, so it's easy. We are going to write 9 in 4 bits, as well as we are going to write C in 4 bits. All right, so bits are going to be 1, 2, and 4 and 8. 1, 2, 4, and 8. So C means what? A means 10, B means 11, and C means 12. So how we are going to make the 12? 1 over 8 and 1 over 4. That gives you 12. This is 0 and this is 0. 9 is getting like 1/8 and 1/1. So 8 plus 1 will be 9. So these two things are going to be 0. So the binary representation will be right. Okay. So the seventh one that they are asking is, people, if you got any doubts, please ask, right? I'm just doing it with the feeling that you will ask something if you got any particular question is stuck with, right? So the seventh one, it is asking, you have given the following logic circuit where the input B is a binary value. The output of the logic circuit is either a 0 or 1, depending on the input. Modify the logic circuit by inserting an appropriate logic gate in a suitable place to produce one, what they are saying here. Logic gate in a suitable place to produce 1, irrespective of the input value of B. Oh, right. All right. So that means like you have to modify this particular circuit to have the output as 1 always. You can add one particular gate which is going to be in this circuit. All right. So now for the moment, the situation is, if you put 0 over here, if you put 0 over here, 0 comes here, 0 comes here, 0 plus 0 equals 0. If you put 1, 1 comes here, 1 comes here, 1 plus 1 is 1. So how we are going to put, yes, Saran, we are going to put a NOT gate in any place. Any place means the suitable places will be either this point or the other line over here. Right. So in any place, in these two lines, you can have NOT gate in any one of the lines. So what's happened when NOT gate is given? If you provide 0 here, this will provide 1. This will provide 0. So it is a OR gate. So the output is going to be 1. If you produce 1, this becomes 0, but this line becomes 1. Again, this, so you can take it as 1 as well. Right. So if I go by the marking scheme, yeah, this is the way they have introduced. So you can swipe the NOT gate. Okay, so the 7th one is done. The 8th one, yeah, it seems to be some matching parts. Right, okay, yes. A 2D animation file has SWF extension now. That is from the file types that we are going to have, right? Earlier we were using this Flash and all these things. So we use it to maintain it as a SWF file. And but when it is exported as a movie file, it has, yeah, FLA extension. right? So that, of course, you may not know about that, people, right? So you can take marks for A and B because we are not familiar with the SWF and FLA. In the second one, in graphic editing software, the working area is commonly referred as the what? The working area is commonly referred as the canvas, right? Right. So the last one, it is asking in graphic editing software, blank can be used to select similar colored areas. Yeah, magic wand can be taken for D. So yeah, now this is C and this is D. If you got those two correct, take full marks, 2 marks. Okay, the 9th one. Consider the set of integers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The following pseudocode calculates the total of even numbers of the set S of the set S. Okay. Copy the pseudocode to your answer script and complete the blanks. Yeah. So it says begin, set total to 0. They have used for loop, counter equals what we should say 2 to 10, right? 2 is there, 10 should be there because it starts from 2, it goes until 10, and it is asking the total of the even numbers. So even numbers are like what? These 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay. Right. So the step should be 2, people. So this should start from 2, goes until 10. Step should be 2. Right. Then the total. Right. So the total is going to say like total plus counter. This particular counter. Right. So it should be end like that. So counter 2 to 10, step 2, total equals total plus counter. It's going to give you the addition of even numbers. So 2 marks for that. So the final question of the first question, state 4 requirement gathering techniques used in system development life cycle. Yeah, so you can say what observations, the questionnaires, right, and interviews, right. What else do we have? There you go. Record searching, interviews, questionnaires, and observation. Right. So if you got all 4 correct, then have 2 marks for that and see how much you got out of 20. And send me them, send me the send me your mark as well out of 10, out of 20. Anyone who got 20 out of 20? Okay, Tamadi, that's a good mark. How about others? Yes, Sarana, are you asking about the 9th question? Yeah. If you say step as 1, then you are only going to take 2 marks, 1 mark only. Anetra, that's good. That's a very good mark, Anetra. All right, so moving to the second question, right? The Excel one, the easy one, right? So there is something called why pay more, and okay, Bisandi, that's great. So consider the following worksheet on drug prices prepared according to the newspaper advertisement. So they say why pay more, and they say same drug is available in different names at different places. So the name of the drug is given, price in generic name is taken, price in branded name is given, and the price difference is there to be calculated in the D column, and the total, of course, is there, and if we want, we can have the total of the B column and C column. So the first one they are asking, suggest the most appropriate chart type available in spreadsheet software to solve 2 prices of all 5 drugs along with their name and drug. Suggest the most appropriate chart type. So there are 2 type of things, two kind of things here. So then you can use, if you want to compare, you can take the column chart or a bar chart, right? So they are asking the most appropriate chart type, only one. So either the column chart or the bar chart going to take the marks. So you can have 2 marks for that. And then the second one says, write the required formula in cell D4 to show the price difference of paracetamol. D4 means what? D4 means here. So how we are going to write the price difference? We can say equals, so it says the price difference is price in branded name minus price in generic names. And they are not saying that this is going to be copied and all these things. So it's going to be equals what? Not the B actually, it's going to be the C first because column C is having bigger values. C4 minus B4. Right, C4 minus B4. Actually, 4 should be over here, C4 minus B4. And the third one says, if the formula entered in cell D4 is copied to cell D6, D4 is copied to cell D6, that means over here. How would be the formula appears in cell D5? Oh, are they? Here they say D5. Okay. So that means over here. It's easy. So it is on the same column. No values are going to change. I'm sorry, values are the one which is going to change. It's not the letter. So if it is copied to the D5, it's going to be D4 equals not the D4, the C5 minus B5, right? So that's going to be the answer. And yeah, here you got 2 marks, here you got 2 marks, and here you got 2 marks. Last question says, assume the cell D4, D5, D6, D7, D8 contains the price differences. Write the formula to calculate the total of the price differences from the 5 drugs in cell D9. So it's a very easy stuff that they have given. Equal sum how we are going to say that the range is going to be D4 colon D8. Or you can give the range on the other way around as well, D8 colon D4. Right? If you are having this properly, have 3 marks. Not the 3 neither. Let's have 4 marks. Oh, that is big. Never mind, never mind. You may have 4 marks left. So it's very easy, people, when it comes to the Excel. We really don't need to bother about that. Just flow with your sensors and all these things. Right. The third one, they are talking about consider the following table containing information of teachers in a school. So teacher ID, full name, date of birth, address, subject ID, and subject name. There is one specific teacher for each subject, and one teacher can teach more than one subject. Yeah. So they have given some relationship like that. Explain data duplication using the above example table. Yeah. So data duplication means repeating the data unwantedly, right? So if you consider the teacher ID, full name, date of birth, address are being repeated in the second and third columns. So it's an unwanted repetition, right? So you can explain on that aspect. So he's saying data application is the repeating of the same data unnecessarily. For example, in this case, Noha Jamila details are repeated, right? So if you draw it and illustrate it, it doesn't matter, right? So these 2 points should be there. Repeating the same data unnecessarily, right? Right. So the next part is asking, explain briefly why data duplication should be avoided. Yeah, if the data duplication is there, definitely the data redundancy will be formed, right? Data being redundant means it is being duplicated unwantedly. If the data unwantedly repeats, it gives data redundancy. And if the data redundancy is there, data accuracy will be minimized, right? Because there are more rooms for error. And the reliability will be minimized, right? As well as, what else do we got? Accuracy is going down, reliability is going down, searching, updating a particular detail will be hard, as well as deleting, right? So those kind of things can be taken. So in the marking scheme, take more time, less efficient, data can be inconsistent. Yeah, inconsistent means like having a data without being changed for a long time. So we call it consistent. So when it is changed, consistency is there. Difficulty to create relationship. Yes. Like in the same way, right? So it is difficult to create the relationship properly. In the third one, they are asking, identify the most appropriate data types to represent each of the field in the above table. So if I'm giving you the marks, how many? There are 6 things. Yes. So you got 2 marks over here, 2 marks for the second part, and 6 marks for the last part. So teacher ID is going to be numeric. Full name, it's going to be text. Date of birth, it's going to be date and time. Address, again, it's going to be a text. Subject ID, again, it's going to be a text. Subject name, again, it is going to be a text. Right? So here we go. Teacher ID, text, number, string, any kind of things, they have given the marks. Name in full. Right? So date of birth, address, these kind of things you can propose. And why they have said as text or strings, sometimes they get it as text, sometimes we get it as strings. Right? So here you can have 6 marks for the last data type explanation part. Okay. Who did this and who got 10 out of 10? Right. Okay. Yes, Saran. Yes, integer is also can be taken. Okay, so moving to the fourth question. Oh, that's good, Saran. In the fourth, assume that you have developed HTML content hold on a second, people. Assume that you have developed an HTML content for the website of your school on your own, on your home computer. Write down the steps required to publish the website for public access. So you can say, step 1, obtain the domain name from the website for a website. Step 2, obtain the space from the web server. And the last one says, upload the website to the web server using suitable software. Right? So if you have made your own what you call a particular website, first you have to have particular domain name. Now, as you can remember, in my website, they got the domain name called starlights.lk. Right? So I have to purchase that. As well as I have to purchase a particular place to hold this, to hold particular the collection of web pages. Right? Then your web pages are in your computer, which is made by you. So you have to transfer that from your computer to the server. Right? So you can use a particular file managers like FileZilla kind of things, or you can just upload it. Right? So those are the ways that we can take as like what is actually happening when the website is being hosted. And the next one they have asked, digital divide. Right? So the what was the question? Yeah, briefly explain the following. Digital divide. So digital divide means what? The gap between the individual communities that have and those who do not have access to the information technology. Right? And then they're asking about encryption. So in regarding encryption, what we can say? Yes. So it says encryption is a mathematical technique used to scramble or encode a message into an unreadable format. Now, encryption in your syllabus, they are not very much focused into it, but when you are like doing some communication, encryption is sometimes there will be encryption is a must. In most of the cases where the customer is going to provide the credit card number kind of things, so it can be passed using the encrypted data. Right. So then the final one is the firewall. So simply we can say firewall is the one who is protecting the computer, which is connected to it, connected to the internet. Right. So firewall will allow only the authorized people to get into the system. Unauthorized will be alert and ask for the use actions. Right. So in most of the cases, it avoids unwanted or like uninvited people to get inside. Right. So the marks are going to be, let's take it like this. Only 6 parts are there. Yeah. So first 3 steps take 2 marks. That means like step 1, 2 marks, step 2, 2 marks, step 3, 2 marks. So that means 6 marks are there. And yeah, in here they haven't mentioned the things. Yeah, let's go like this. Let's say this is not 2 marks. Take it as 1 mark, people. Publishing part එක ලකුණු ගානේ 3 ලකුණු 3යි. Briefly explanation ලකුණු 2 ගානේ 3 ලකුණු 6යි. So 6 plus 9 will be 6 plus 3 will be 9. So if everything is correct, I'm going to give you a bonus mark which will fulfill it to 10. So here 1 into 3 right. Yeah, this will have 3 marks. Each one of those will have 2 marks. And 1 bonus mark is given if everything is correct. Okay. People, is it clear up to this point? Okay, so the 5th one, it says an electricity meter an electricity meter reader reads the meter of 50 houses a day. If he has access to the meter at a house, he takes the reading, calculates the bill amount, and hand over the bill to the household. If he does not have access to the meter, he calculates the bill with an estimated number of units and keeps the bill like in order to be sent by the post. Then they say write down the appropriate label to fill a blank A to F in the given flowchart. It is not necessary to copy the flowchart into your answer script. Yeah, so the very first one, number of households. So it says he is going for 50 houses. So until the 50th one is met, he will do this, right? So this is number of household less than 50. Then we have to figure out what is yes and what is no. Definitely this is going to be yes. This is going to be no. So how do we say? If it is yes, then it says then the reader sees whether he have access to the meter. All right. So then if it is yes, get estimated number of units, get calculated electrically, bills. And then number of houses is going to equal number of houses plus 1. Right? So this is going to be number of houses. Right? So it's going to be number of houses. Right? So this is going to be no as well. Right? So these flowchart questions are pretty easy when you know the algorithm to fill the blanks. So we got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So then you can say it is 6 marks are given for that. Yeah. Is that clear, people? Careful, Susan. Yes, people, is that clear? Lamai, is that clear? Right. Yes, Sarah. Those are like that. So the B part is saying a teacher distributes textbooks to class. First, teacher finds the number of students from the class register. Each student name is called. If present, book are issued and record is made to indicate that the books have been issued. If the student is absent, a record is made that the books have not been issued. The process is repeated for all the students. Write the pseudocode for the above scenario as indicated in the flowchart below. You may use the keywords as input, process, display, begin, end, do while, and if then. So this is the structure. So if you are going to write a pseudocode, so for start, they have given the word begin, so you can put begin and get number of students n, student count equal 0. So those are going to be 2 lines. Get number of students. Right. And the next one is student count equals 0. Right. Then we have a condition and we have to figure out whether it is a selection or an iteration. How we are going to figure that out, whether it is a selection or an iteration. Yes, we can figure out whether this is a selection or an iteration, we can clearly figure out whether this is an iteration or not. Now, if you look into the flow chart, iteration happens over here. This is what you call iteration. And who is stopping the iteration? Right? So that particular condition is going to be the iteration condition. The one who stops the iteration is going to be the iteration condition. Right? So that means student count less than n is going to be an iteration condition. So you can use while. But if you use while, remember, now this is iterating on no path. So we have to flip the condition to maintain the logic, right? So you have to say while student count, they say less than n, the complete opposite of this, larger than or equal n, right? So that is the complete opposite one, less than n. The complete opposite one is going to be larger than or equal n. If it is less than or equal n, then the complete opposite is larger than n. Right? So while student count larger than or equal n, then you have to say get next to a name. Then get next student name. Then after the other condition comes, so in this condition you can see it goes on two paths and combine later. Right? Get next student name, then you have to say if student present if student is present, then in the yes part you have to say hand over books. There are two things. Write okay in the files. Else write absent in files. Right? Then end if should be there. And if then the student equals student plus student count equals student count plus 1 right. So then after, yeah, it's the no path of the iteration. That means it should end while. Then the end. Right. So I'll show you the marking scheme one as well. So they have taken do while thing. You can use while as well. Yeah, Seran less than n. Yes, Seran. Yes. My mistake. It is iterating on the years path. Sorry, my bad. It should be student count less than n. Yeah, yes. Right. So here, yes, begin or start. Get number of students as n, student count equals 0, do while or while student count less than n. So then get or input next to a name. If student is present, then process write OK in the file. Else process write absent in the file. And if okay, so that will come. Then the student count equals student count plus 1, then end while. So if you are given this correctly, 4 marks will be there. So Hara, that's disturbing. Right. So any questions regarding this, people? Right. So if not, we can end the session just for today. Right. So I'm going to discuss the 6th question by next week and going to the 2012 straight away. Right. So please do the 2012 entirely. Right. We will be able to do the questions. Right. So then I'll see you on next Sunday for the very same time. Right. People, we are going to have the class on 26th. And 2nd of January, you will be getting a holiday, right? So the classes will be there on 26th, but you will be getting a holiday on 2nd of January, right? So be there on next week, right? So I'll see you on the very same time. Thank you very much, people. Have a very nice weekend.